rears, and texting could be as high as $500 for a fence rid, because it's very dangerous.
On the streets of Charlottetown, opinions run to both extremes.
I personally like driving with my cell phone because it's accomplishing two things at once, and it's much more of a hassle to try to pretend like you're not talking on the cell phone.
It's really dangerous for all the people that are driving. They don't put attention, they're just distracted.
I'd like to say yes, although I'm guilty of it myself. And yeah, absolutely, I think it should be illegal. Yeah, for the safety of everybody.
But you do it.
I do it. I'm guilty.
You should be allowed to. Just people can multitask, and I mean, as long as you're a good driver, you can focus on both the road and your phone.
It's on your visor, you open it up, it hits your collar.
Cell phone dealers say a few islanders are beginning to ask about wireless options in anticipation that a ban will be made law this winter.
You get the odd person asking, about the devices, but we really haven't heard that concern yet that, it's going to be law, I have to get it. So we haven't really seen a whole lot of that yet. I think it'll be a mass panic when the law is passed and everybody has to have it, and then bang, everybody will be here at once.
But Alan Johnson says he recently sold 14 wireless cell phone devices to the provincial government's communications unit. And Ron McKinley says this time around he'll be asking the police and provincial coroner to be more vocal in support of a cell phone ban while driving. Dan Vio, CTV News, Charlottetown.
Thank you, Dan. Well, if and when PEI enacts its cell phone legislation, that will leave New Brunswick as the only province east of Manitoba without a ban on handheld devices for drivers. So, do New Brunswickers want a similar law? CTV's Jeff Harrington spoke to motorists and police, gauging their thoughts on talking and testing and regulating distractions, and he joins us now live with more. Jeff.
Well, Bruce, New Brunswick is, there is no law in the books right now in New Brunswick, so that means that drivers are free to talk and text while driving. But the ironic thing is this: many people who I spoke to today say that New Brunswick is lagging behind many other provinces and should adapt similar legislation like Nova Scotia. 16-year-old Jane Northrup is getting ready for her driver's test. And even though the grade 11 student isn't fully licensed yet, she doesn't believe an all-out ban on handheld devices is needed in New Brunswick.
I don't think it's needed if you're talking on it, but texting, yeah, because you're not looking at the road when you're texting, you're looking at your phone, so it'd be easier to get into accidents and stuff like that.
As a driving instructor, Sean Daly sees distracted drivers every day on the road. Daly knows that new legislation won't be easy to introduce.
I certainly think it would be a tough pill for the average New Brunswicker to swallow, because we're certainly very accustomed to being able to do it. But, certainly significant research is out there saying that if a driver is distracted, then accidents can happen, quite literally in the blink of an eye.
A study released by U.S. Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that distractions are a contributing factor in as many as 80% of all traffic accidents. Fredericton police say while there is no provincial law in place, people can still be charged for driving without care.
Generally, that charge stems from becoming involved in an accident, whether it be single vehicle or two vehicle or multi-vehicle.
Accidents that people on the street say are preventable.
I believe there's too much to distract the driver these days from driving, with GPS systems and stereo systems and DVDs playing in the vehicle.
I particularly noticed this a few times in the drive-thrus, that they've got the pet in their hand, they're paying for a hot coffee, they're receiving a hot coffee, and chances are they're talking on the phone. I just can't, I can't believe there aren't more accidents.
As for Jane Northrup, she passed her driver's test today and is ready to hit the road, but she'll be doing so cautiously and without texting.
That's just asking for an accident.
And that fact has some New Brunswickers asking for new legislation. Bruce, the Department of Public Safety here in New Brunswick is the department that is responsible for influencing this type of legislation. A spokesperson with the department says that they are closely monitoring other jurisdictions in Canada to see how similar laws have been enacted and whether or not they are successful. But at this point, there are no plans for New Brunswick to join the bandwagon. Bruce and Star.
We will certainly keep an eye on it. Thanks for that, Jeff.
You're welcome.
CTV's Jeff Harrington reporting live tonight from Fredericton. And we should tell you, with all this talk of cell phone bans, it seems Canadians are indeed concerned about this issue. A recent poll done by Ipsos Reid for Future Shop found nearly 60% of Canadians believe talking on a cell phone while driving is the most dangerous combination of activities out there.
By comparison, using power tools was chosen as most dangerous by only 17% of Canadians surveyed, while skydiving came in at only 3%.
I might flip those last two. But anyway, a lot of people talking about it. We are ready for our first break tonight, but there is much more to come. This midweek edition of Live at 5, including a look at a school newspaper with a very, very dedicated staff, and Liz Rigney with all your maritime entertainment news.
But up next, avoiding injury on the sports field.
On the inner part of my knee, it was just a constant pain whenever I lunged, put too much pressure on it, anything like that.
Our Live at 5 house call has important advice for maritime parents with children who play year-long sports. That's next.
The Valley Harvest is giant fun. Get ready for the Valley Pumpkin Festival, celebrating the beauty and the bounty of the harvest. This fall, explore the cuisine, culture, and agriculture of the Annapolis Valley. From pumpkin champions to family-friendly local events, it's all here. Experience the bounty at farm markets and U-Picks, tour a winery, take in an event. There's something for everyone. Go online at valleypumpkinfest.ca for full listings. Join the giant fun at the Valley Harvest Fest on now.
1 in 4 women are at risk for osteoporosis, and it's not always easy to get the calcium we need. Caltrate Plus provides calcium, plus vitamin D and other minerals to help prevent osteoporosis. It's never too early or too late for Caltrate.
Relieve the pain. Relax the muscles. Robax Platinum, helping you walk away from back pain.
It's Bobby Mack. We're back at Carroll GM. And John, Carroll, we're hearing a lot about cash for clunkers, but that's only for Americans.
No, it's actually for Canadians. Up to $3,000 for your old clunker traded in at Carroll GM.
And you guys are guaranteeing the Buicks and the GMCs now?
Absolutely right. Buy a new Buick or a GMC. If you don't like it within 60 days, bring it back. We'll give you your money back.
Unbelievable deals. You have to get down here to take advantage of them, though. Remember, nobody beats a Carroll deal.
Absolutely nobody.
This is the story of a bucket. Now, buckets are naturally docile, but this bucket, on this day, would change this belief. You see, all day long he sat, screaming as loud as a bucket could, for someone, for anyone to notice. But no one did. Neglected and lonely, he lashed out.
Are you okay? Help! I need some help.
Like this car?
Love it.
It could be yours. The annual Special Olympics Car Lottery is now officially underway. It's a joint fundraiser between Special Olympics Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island. The grand prize is this beautiful 2010 Toyota Camry LE. Now, here's what you need to know to get a ticket. They cost $10 and can be purchased by calling 1-866-299-2019 or by visiting a home hardware store or Toyota dealership in the Maritimes. You can also find more information online at the website you see there. It's www.soatlantic.ca. Now, besides the car, there are also 2 secondary prizes for each province of a $2,500 Caribbean vacation or $2,500 cash, and 3 third prizes of $500 home hardware shopping sprees.
Fantastic. Nice
And
car, too.
It's a great car, and it is absolutely a fantastic cause to support.
No argument at all. That's true. Well, these days, you know, it's common for children to play sports all year long.
When the regular season ends, many continue on with specialty camps and training programs. But all that non-stop pounding can be tough on young bodies.
As we're about to see now in this Live at 5 house call, many are developing joint problems, once found only in adults.
Michael Crocefolia lives and breathes soccer, so when a sharp knee pain kicked in, it jarred his game.
On the inner part of my knee, it was just a constant pain whenever I lunged, put too much pressure on it, anything like that.
Michael was diagnosed with osteochondritis dissecans, or OCD. It's a condition cropping up in children who focus on a single year-round sport.
Kids play fall soccer, then they play winter ball, play spring ball, and then play summer ball. And so they're really not allowing these injuries to heal.